All right, what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Today, we are setting a special record for the largest single losing trade of my career thus far, losing about $902 in one trade here on KITT. I was green on the name. I was getting aggressive. I was up 380 bucks. KITT up in this range. I thought we were going to continue higher. I bought the dip here right under $6, and within a blink of an eye, I was in 1,500 shares. I was looking for some continuation, and it fell through like a rock, and I had no chance to get out. I got out half of my position into the halt, and then sold out the rest of my half after the halt, and it opened 30 cents lower. So a really challenging day today, specifically because I was green on the day, well into the green, 380 bucks, and now I turned around and had a huge swing backwards to, I was actually minus 550 and made a little bit back, but not nearly enough. So these are specifically one of the more challenging days emotionally because I was green on the day, and just having that big swing in that P&L triggers emotions for sure, and especially when you're trying to size up and you're trying to have bigger days, trying to grow as a trader. These are the days that are the most challenging because I've never taken a single losing trade this big before, and like this is just part of the growth. This is part of the growth because I'm venturing into territory that I have yet to experience, and not only am I going to have really big green days, if I'm going to be sizing up and getting aggressive, I'm going to have big red days. I'm going to have big red trades. This specific trade was a 10% loss on big size, on big size. So I've had a 10% loss before on big size, and that would have equated in the past maybe like a $300 loss, but that was when I was trading like maybe 3,000 shares, 4,000 shares. No, sorry, 300, sorry, $3,000 dollars or $4,000 position size, and now I'm trading north of $10,000 position sizes. So 1,500 shares here on a $6 stock is about a $9,000 position size. Took a 10% loss, minus 900 bucks. So here's the statistics for today. Down 492. Was doing really well, and it took a 10% loss here on KITT. 1,500 shares. I was in at 603, my average, and when I was down 10 cents, I was down 10 cents on 1,000 shares. I should have sold, but I doubled down, or I added a third more onto my positions. I was up 1,500 shares, and then it dropped so hard, so fast. And I just couldn't even get out in time before the halt, and I took a pretty nasty loss. So biggest ever losing trade of my career. Not a record that I enjoy setting, but I do have to document this because it is part of my journey. I'm not someone who's going to hide this from the community because everyone's going to experience their biggest ever losing trade, and those are tough days, and learning how to cope with that and seeing somebody else go through it kind of lessens the blow a little bit because you have somebody to relate to. So I'm happy to be putting out this video for anyone who does have their largest ever losing trade. They can watch this, and they can kind of see my thought process on how I am processing this day. So in one way, being green on the day actually does help because it kind of cushioned that blow. So instead of being down $900, I cushioned it by about 380 bucks. which is good. So it doesn't seem as bad on the day. Plus on Monday I had a nice green day of 740. So I'm still green on the week by like 130 bucks. But I would rather have that have not happened, because now I'm pretty much back to break even on the month. So it's quite tough to deal with, just accepting that this is where I'm at now. So let's go through. I want to show the video. I was green pre-market, and I was looking at the break for the red to green. I did trade that. So it was green 60 bucks or so pre-market. We had a little pop at the open, then we dumped. This would have been a great dip. So here, this is when I kind of started to trade. Here I was in, kind of taking profits. I'm not really sure if it's going to squeeze out because we had this big dump. So we'll see. So I'm in 73 starters, 250 shares adding. So I'm anticipating that red to green. Taking 10 cents there on half of my share size, and waiting for the break for the highs. So here we're loading up at 90 into the halt. So I actually take this off into the halt level because it's underneath $6. Sometimes you'll get that halt resumption sideways on something like this that's not halted at a high a day or halted into highs, making a new high. And sometimes you'll get resistance at the whole dollar or the high a day and the previous high a day, and it will flush. I mean, that's happened many times. So that's why I took it off, the rest off, for a 10 cent or 12 cent gain into the highs. And we do. So the idea is if it opens higher, I'm going to be adding or starting my position because it's strong and you have support at the whole dollar. But if it opens up sideways, then I'm patient. So we'll go to the resumption. So it resumes. I'm in 1,000 shares at 16. Adding another 500 shares at 21 or 20. 20 and 21. So I'm in, my average is at 617. Taking it off in the 30s, high 20s and 30s for a nice, that's like a nice $200 gain right there. Now I'm going to scalp this range and add on some more profits. I'll just document this just for the sake of the video so you guys can see. So scalping the volatility here, it's high volume. You have a nice range. It's great for scalping. So pretty much the idea is to buy any dips, sell into any sort of pops for a quick 5 cent, 7 cent gain. So there we had hesitation to pop, so I sold. And we did pop there. So here, I'm anticipating this thing to really make a leg up to maybe $7. I was really anticipating a big move here. And that's why I got blown off guard. Because I was in the zone. I was having winner after winner after winner. There was a nice 10 cent gain there for a quick dip. I'm up 382 right here. And this would have been a great entry, but it didn't work out. So I'm up close to 400. So here I'm buying the dip off 6. We break through 6, but then we like kind of reclaim it. We don't reclaim it. Actually, there is the red flag there. So we break below 6 and there's resistance. So right here, we break below 6 and we never break back over 6. So there's a seller there and we never break back over 6. I added at under 6. I added and we never broke back over 6. And this is where it just went. Everyone just started panicking for the door. I was in 1,500 shares. I'm already down 30 cents. And it just goes down so fast. Here I'm trying to get out and I can't. It's in a halt now. So I'm only out maybe half of my position, a little more than half. I'm already took a $600 loss at this point. But it would have been a really great trade because this dip was really nice off 590. And if this stock was really strong or had more room to run, if it did run up, I could have had a potential 30 cents, 10, 20 to 30 cents on 1,500 shares. That's about $300 to $450. And I was already up 380. Like this could have been another $700, $800 green day. So the potential was there. It just didn't work out. And I'm sure there's a variety of factors. That being, it already had a huge run pre-market, so it was very extended. And we were running in on this daily chart, which I will show you in a second. So pretty much after this, it unhalts lower, it resumes lower, and I take the loss. And now I'm down $550 for a $900 loss. So the problem was here, it was running into resistance right around here. So we have this huge range here. So there's going to be a lot of resistance at 7. It's going to be a lot of resistance between 650 and 7. So we did run up to close to 650, had some resistance, pulled back, and then you had this huge move from pre-market, which is a little bit overextended. So, and that seems to be sort of the theme. Sometimes you'll have a huge move pre-market, and by market open, the stock is overtraded and it doesn't have much more room to run unless it's a really hot market. So it's been rare to see like a huge move pre-market and then a huge move again at the market open. So it's just unfortunate that it didn't give any sort of downs here off 590. So that's what happened there. I tried to make some back here on Peggy. I was red on a pre-market and started to make some back here, but it was so choppy. Peggy is really difficult. FNGR, this one. So this one here made a little bit, but again, the spreads are very big, very wide. I've been taking losses on the spread, like nothing here. I took just a 10-cent loss just on the spread for the breakthrough 7, but we never got the breakthrough 7. Curled back up, made a nice move, and trying to get back in here after the rejection, or no, for the breakthrough 8, and make 7 cents or so. So small gains. FNGR only green $2.45. But KITT, I was able to kind of make some after the resumption off the low here at 510. Very risky, but we do have some support. Made a huge move, so a little bit overextended to the downside. Found some support at 510 and sold into a quick pop here. Made a little bit back, but not much. So that's really the story for today. Definitely a difficult day, and nothing that I enjoy going through, but it's necessary for me to get to that next level. I'm no longer want to be trading my baby 250, 500 share size or less than a $5,000 position size when the opportunity is there. And I felt like the opportunity was there on KITT. I really did. In the moment, I thought it could really start to ramp up and go parabolic. And if that was the case, it could have been the next level green day, maybe $1,000 green day. And, I'd be sitting real pretty. But this just goes to show you when you're trying to size up, stuff like this is going to happen. And you just kind of have to deal with the setback, accept the loss, and get back on the saddle. Maybe like I come in tomorrow a little bit more conservative, just try to have a green day under my belt before I start sizing up again. But I don't want to stick around under, my previous share size that I was trading before, because I want to continually be pushing the envelope. I don't want to see this as a failure and then only be stuck with my previous share size and never actually pushing that envelope again because I had this day. This day serves as an experience emotionally, mentally, to condition myself for those bigger swings in my P&L relatively, because if I'm going to be taking shot size of 1,500 shares, I need to be able to take a $150 loss, a $300 loss easily, like I take like a $50 loss on my 500 shares. So, if I lose 10 cents on 1,500 shares, that's $150, which is really nothing because I was trading 500 shares as my big share size maybe last month and taking a $50 loss, which is a 10-cent loss on 500 shares. That's really not that much. It's something that I can make back relatively easily. So, as you size up, your losses are going to get bigger. And the trick is just to you have to condition yourself emotionally and mentally to be able to take those bigger swings or those bigger hits relative to your share size. And that's one of the hardest things to overcome when sizing up. And that's what keeps people from sizing up, is that fear of having a big red day. And, having this day, I know I've already been consistent over the course of a year or so, consistently making money every week, every month. So I have a strategy that is profitable. So I don't need to be afraid of the fact that I don't have to say that my strategy doesn't work, because it does. The only thing that would hold me back from having bigger green days is just the fear of taking a bigger size. And that's just what you have to go through to get to a bigger level of trading. And this is a 10% loss, so this is pretty much max loss here. But I could have just easily had a 10% win. If I had a 10% win, then I could be sitting up $900. So at least I went for it, and just me going for it, me putting my balls on the line and try to level up and try to have a bigger green day. Definitely shows me that I'm not as afraid as I thought I was to size up. And if I do take a loss like this, I'm going to be able to make this back. I can make this back relatively easily over time. Give me a couple days, maybe a week. I could be back to my highs. So I had a $100 loss yesterday, about a $500 loss today. So I'm in the weeds. I'm in the hole about $600. Give me about a week. I can definitely be back to flat, if not sooner than that. So I'm not worried about making the loss back. It's just that today had potential and it just didn't work out. That's really what it is. I'm not going to be taking 10% losses every day. I know this is more of a fluke. I'm not going to be taking 10% losses every day. I shouldn't be. If I am taking a 10% loss every day, I'm not managing my risk. I don't think this is a risk management, maybe. Partly risk management because I did average down, but I think this is just one of those scenarios where it's like that one time every couple months I take a 10% loss on big size. That happened in the beginning of August. I took a 10% loss and I had that I had a $700 red day back in August. It was the worst day of my career. And that was just one of those flukes where I took big size. I was in big size and I took a 10% loss. And that just happened again here, except it was on even bigger size because I'm trying to level up, trying to become a bigger trader. So, these 10% losses don't happen every day. So I know that, a $900 loss isn't going to be a normal thing, or shouldn't be a normal thing here on out. So it just happened to be that, I should have identified that KITT was a little bit more extended. I shouldn't have gotten as aggressive into the highs. And I should have noticed, been more attentive to the daily chart where we did have this range between 650 and 7, and adjusted accordingly. But that was just partly is my fault, so I'm just gonna have to accept it and move on. So that's it on the day. Biggest red day, not the biggest red day of my career, but biggest single losing trade thus far. But it's a good sign. It's a sign that I'm not afraid to take risk. I'm not afraid to get better and to increase my size. So this is usually a sign of growth. If you're having bigger red days and bigger green days, Monday I had my biggest green day ever and my biggest single green trade ever, followed by today is my biggest single red trade. So definitely signs of improvement and signs of growth are happening. I just see this more as a growing pain rather than a sign of failure. So I think that's the best way to look at it. If you are dealing right now with a single biggest losing trade or a big red day. So the important part is to just get back onto the consistency and soon, build that confidence back over a course of a couple days or a couple trades, and then size back up and don't be afraid. So, eventually one of these trades is going to work and I'm going to have that 1K green day and I'm going to be through the roof. I'm going to be through the moon, to the moon. So that's it. I'm going to close up shop. I don't think I'm going to be taking any more trades today. Pretty much wiped out emotionally from this. So I'm going to just save the rest of my energy for tomorrow. Come back and try again. Try again every day. And every day, it's potential to get better. Today, I can learn from this. Tomorrow, I can get better. And I'm just going to keep pushing the envelope. I'm never going to stop pushing the envelope. And soon, it's going to be normal to have $1,000 green day, like on most of my green days. Soon, I'm going to get to that level. I just got to keep pushing the envelope. So that's it, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I do have something really awesome coming up in a couple days. This weekend, I will have a nice promotion to offer all of my subscribers entirely for free. I'm excited to reveal that for you guys. So if you're still watching, I know you're the OG. So if you're not yet a subscriber, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next recap. All right, peace.